Hello everybody, welcome to another movie night review. Of course, right now it's not night, but whatever. Yeah. I'm going to talk about a movie I bought recently. You can see it right there probably. And here, Dragon Blade. Fantastic. No. Alright, let's see. What can I say about this film? Story-wise, if you are new to my movie reviews, or any of my reviews, I don't spoil any part of the story. I hate spoilers. Now, I admit I'm quite close to breaking that promise for this movie, not for any good reason. But anyway, let's go. Let's do this. I bought this movie thinking that it was going to be a fun, mummy-like experience. You know, from 2001, I think, or something. Anyway, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. The story is about a Roman legion, which is actually much smaller than a legion in this film, at least at first. And it finds itself at the border of the Chinese Empire with the so-called Parthian Empire. Yes, Parthians were real people, I know. Anyway, and from then on, it goes to show how two people can work together. That's, well, actually the main theme of the movie is how all people, no matter what, where you come from, can work together. And really, it just goes on and on and on about this. I do not disagree with it, but it does become a little preachy about this. Anyway, that's not really part of the problem with this movie. Alright, I'll start with the technical aspects. Visuals. Quite good, not perfect. I mean, you can see that it isn't a AAA production in terms of money, but it is quite good. There's some good, impressive shots, and where you can clearly see the CGI. There's some good lighting, but at times the film looks too clean, too crisp, like like the early digital cameras. And you say like, this is not a movie. Anyway, in general, it looks good. I wish I could say the same about the sound. While the sound effects, for the most part, well, 80%, are clear and loud, there are times, especially when there is music, and there is plenty of music, it gets way, way too loud. I'm talking about distortion levels loud. And I have no idea how they didn't see this in editing, at least, if not during recording. But it's just unbelievably annoying when it happens. Part of this problem, the audio issues, is the dialogue. Okay, let me start by saying there are two options for dialogue. One is the original Chinese dialogue with hard-coded English subtitles, and the other option is English dub. The problem with the Chinese original dialogue is twofold. First, it sounds worse than the English dub. I mean, quality-wise, it sounds like they use different microphones, like cheap microphones. I don't know, it just sounds worse. Also, if you don't speak Chinese and you want to read the subtitles, they go past so fast, it's a race to read what's going on. That definitely ruins the experience. Now, I'm not someone who has problems with subtitles, as I grew up with reading subtitles, but in this movie they just don't fit at all. I mean, I'm glad they exist, but yeah. The problem with the English dub, well, at least it's not the quality of the sound, even though due to the different audio levels, there are times where you have no idea what they're saying. The sound effects or music completely covers the dialogue. Completely. Another thing that I just can't figure out how in a movie, big title movie, I mean, well, it's not a two people movie, this is with hundreds of actors. Anyway, I don't know how they made it, but how they managed to do this, but the audio is definitely not something that gets a pass grade. Alright, what else? Let's see. The acting. Yeah. There are 3 different levels of acting in this film. 1. It's John Cusack and a little bit, I guess, Adrian Brody. 2 of the 3 main characters. They're very good, but I can almost feel their pain in the dialogue when they act, because the dialogue sucks for the most part. But their acting skills definitely try to save it. Second level is Jackie Chan. Jackie's acting is the same for the last 40 years. As far from the 80s that I remember him watching his films till today, his acting is about the same level. His English level has increased, definitely, at least if that is indeed his voice. If it is, yeah, you know what to expect from Jackie. I mean, you're not going to get very good acting when speaking in English, at least. But you're not going to get bad, like, ugh. And if this is your first movie with Jackie Chan, don't watch this. Definitely, just watch something else of his. And the third level is everybody else. Everybody else who actually acts. I'm not talking about people who don't have any lines in the film, or, you know. Their abilities are not their abilities, that's a bit harsh, but at least their presence in this film in terms of acting is below average, more like a poor production from the 80s, Hong Kong production, you know, the kung fu beat everyone up. You don't watch these films for the acting skills of people involved, great films as they are, but yeah, don't expect anything better than that. I guess the main problem with the acting in this film is the dialogue. Just painfully bad. Painfully. I mean, there are whole parts where you're thinking, well, I was thinking, what the are they talking about? It doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. It's like, you know what it is? It's like the whole story. Okay, let's go with the story bit, and I'll explain everything. Story makes no sense. It has some base in reality, in terms of historical background, some little bit. But as a story, it has no nothing to do with realism, nothing to do with logic. I'm not saying this is a fantasy film. This is not, Lord of the Rings film. I wish it were. But things like this don't happen in real life. No. I cannot give examples because, as you know, I don't include any spoilers, but you're gonna watch this and think this is not possible. And then I'm not talking about flying like in some Chinese movies where the main character flies from one tree to the other or whatever. No. That's okay. It doesn't exist here, but it's okay. If it was inside here, I wouldn't have a problem with that. No. The story is stupid. It means well, I think. It has obviously propaganda all over it. They're trying to promote a message of cooperation and how everyone who is different, with different cultural or race background, we're all the same. It took me a while to actually get it when I saw that some of the Chinese soldiers looked very, very much like actors from Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm talking about white male with a ton of makeup and long hair and stuff like that, which made no sense at first. But and that's not the only one. There are parts where it shows children in a city, and half of them are not even Chinese, not even half Chinese. They're either completely white or Arab looking or Indian looking. I don't know what to say. I don't know their background, their racial background, but it didn't really make much sense. Now, if you think about where it is taking place within the Chinese Empire, at first you will say, why are these people not Chinese? Or, Chinese looking, however that sounds, but because it takes place apparently near the borders of the Parthian Empire, and talking about how it is the heart of the Silk Road, and there's lots of trade. So they're actually trying to say that this particular city is the center of the whole region outside of China too. So that's why there are many merchants, although we never see anyone. And many merchants and all that stuff. So apparently some of them actually live there, So there are people who are not Chinese origin. So you end up to accept that. This is actually quite funny. I just thought about this. There are several times during the movie where you're told that this city that the whole movie is taking place in is part of the Silk Road, and it makes ton of money. There is lots of trade and all that. I don't remember not once seeing a single caravan, nothing, entering or leaving, or merchants in general. I mean, I saw some storekeepers. That's it. Anyway, let's continue with reviewing this. The story. Yeah, as I was saying, the story makes no sense. There are times when it shows something that happened in the past, usually in different color, but not always. And then it shows the present time, only that what's supposed to have happened in the past and you just watched is actually something that no, that actually took place right now on present time. And you're like, what the this doesn't make any sense. Then there are huge story gaps. At one point, let's see how I'm going to say this without spoiling it. We are ready for an event. And just like that, one of the main characters is supposed to be who knows how far away to a different city where something happens. And you're led to believe that this is something that happened many years ago, and for some reason the director decided to just tell us about it now, which is fine. But when we return to present time, we are showed something that happens that could only happen if what we just watched actually happened just now. I hope I make sense to you, because it was, if it sounds complicated or insane, is because it is complicated and insane. Story-wise, it blows my mind. It's insane. All right. Let's see what else I'm going to say about this film. Okay, one last thing about the story. You know how, if you have ever bought or watched a video about this of someone who bought imported goods, usually from China, but it doesn't really matter from where, but from a country where English is not the native language or one of the official languages. So you buy something electronic, for example, and there is a leaflet, a manual if you prefer, in English. However, it was translated with someone who doesn't speak one word of English and just used a dictionary and picked words and that sounded good. You know what I mean, right? Well, the whole story, the whole film feels like that. It's insanity. Alright. That's more or less about the production and story. At times I wonder if I have no idea about the production of how the production went and anything about the production of this film. But I do wonder if, like 2/3 in filming, they ran out of money and they said, "Okay, let's stop here. Let's fix everything in editing." And perhaps this is the best they could do with editing. I doubt it, because as I mentioned, at least from some of the technical parts, it makes no sense why they didn't fix them or try to do anything about them. But story-wise, perhaps that's it. Perhaps they didn't have anything else to show, or they decided to go that way. The movie, as a movie and as a story, is at best a disjoint mess. It means well, it has some good parts, some good lessons, if you prefer. I mean, completely out of touch with reality, but still good messages. But it is a mess. Oh, one thing that I appreciate in this film, it's not something you see in major productions. There are some very dark elements. Not many, but there are. Unfortunately, I cannot talk about them because it will be major spoilers. But things that you won't really expect to see from a usual blockbuster film in terms of dark elements, you can see them here, which I appreciate from a, as a viewer. It's good that there are something that you don't expect to see in a film, but you see them. That's very good. Alright, let's end this. Dragon Blade. It's a movie I know I'll most likely never, ever see again. Much like, I don't know, Battlefield Earth. I wanted to like this film a lot. I did. And there are good elements in it. But they are all ruined by poor execution and perhaps poor editing or poor directing. I don't know what was going on in production, so I can't really put the blame on anyone completely. Okay, I'll mention one more thing that I liked. There are 2 or 3 times where a joke was made, or yeah, there were some good jokes. Well, 3 I think, but they're good. I mean, it made me laugh. Yeah. All right. I paid for this money like £3 or something, British pounds, something like that. So I think I got my money's worth. But I'm a fan of Jackie Chan and of John Cusack. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I know this review is not. This review is a mess too. But anyway, I want to mention one more positive thing: the action sequences are historical, but fun to watch. Let's leave it at that. My final rating for this film is 4 lemons out of 12 apples. Avoid. Thank you for watching. Bye.